Hello, my name is Blanchette Hussey, and I teach English part-time at Seminole State. Today I'm going to be reading from The Words We Keep by Erin Stewart, pages 282 to 313. Chapter 41. It takes all of 2 seconds to slip out of my body. It happens so fast, I don't even get a chance to feel the weight of the moment. The way my dad is looking at me and somehow not looking at me, the way Porter scowls at me, his face drawn tight, his mouth a perfect little sphincter in the middle of his face. But I'm above it now, floating somewhere near the ceiling, watching the play unfold beneath me. Camera pans toward Porter, his mouth shaped like a butthole. Porter, blah, 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 trespassing, unacceptable, misdemeanor. Dad, looking disappointed, looking tired, looking resigned. I don't know what to say. Porter, what do you have to say, Lily? Disappointing daughter, who is not really Lily because Lily is not here right now. Lily has left the body. Please leave a message at the beep. We didn't do it. Porter, let me remind you that I have personally reviewed the security tapes, and while we can't identify last night's spray painters, we can clearly identify you trespassing several weeks ago, stealing art supplies, vandalizing the lobby. Disappointing daughter. No, we used paper. Porter, the school's paper. Gifford and Friedman enter. Friedman, they're artists. They took a risk. Gifford, blame us, not them. Porter, butthole mouth pinching tighter. You persuaded me once, but it's gone too far. Just like I said it would. Someone has to be punished, or who knows where it will stop. Disappointing daughter. We didn't do the spray paint. Dad, Lily, just stop. Porter, personal responsibility, blah, blah, blah. Good academic record. Shame to see one mistake knock you off track. 2-day suspension. Dad, not looking at disappointing daughter. I can assure you this won't happen again. Porter, I should hope not. Wags finger. You should consider yourself lucky, young lady. Your partner in crime didn't get off so easy. I slam back into my body. Wait, what? What did you do to Micah? We didn't do anything to Micah, Porter says. He did this to himself. Told us how all of this was his idea. No, that's not true, I say as panic wells in my throat. Moisture pricks my eyes. I had the idea first. Porter holds up his hand, dismissing me. No need to be heroic, Miss Larkin. Micah has told us everything, and we've turned it over to the police. The police? Trespassing is a misdemeanor. But that's not fair. Lily, Dad says, a warning in his voice. Don't push it. Listen to your father, Porter says. You and your sister should consider yourselves lucky that he has convinced us to chalk all this up to youthful indiscretion. But Micah, Mr. Mendez, Porter says, cutting me off, has a pattern of behavior. This isn't the first trouble he's been in, and it won't be the last. He will be far better off somewhere more equipped to deal with his needs. Porter dismisses us with a wave of his hand. Dad thanks him. I focus all my energy on not crawling across Porter's desk and socking him right in his butthole lips. In the hall, Micah walks toward his locker, the school security officer escorting him, a crowd of students gathered round watching, gawking. Damon's got his cell phone up, filming every second. I start toward Micah, but Dad grabs my arm. No. I yank my arm free and run toward him anyway. Tell them the truth, Micah. My voice is strangled and strange. Tell them I was the one who wanted to do it. They've made up their minds. He won't look at me. About this, about me. He shrugs, and the gesture is so defeated, so un-Micah, that I want to shake him, make him stop this. But before I can, he reaches his locker, where someone has taped a picture of a man with the same black bushy hair and gentle expression from the photo in Micah's kitchen, and a headline, Cliff closed after man jumps to his death. Below, in magnetic poetry letters, like father, like son. My throat pinches almost shut. The man on the cliff, Micah's obsession with going there. I put my hand on his shoulder. Micah. He shrugs me off, rips the paper down, crumples it in his fist, and without a second's hesitation turns on his heel, his arm smashing forward into Damon's smirking face. Damon's hand flies to his jaw, and then he's barreling toward Micah, and they're pushing against each other until Micah has Damon up against the locker, and he's hitting him, and a girl screams, and the security guard is yelling at everyone to step back right now, and he's grappling for Micah's hands and clicking handcuffs into place. Damon sucker punches Micah in the face before the officer yanks Micah away. Micah's nose is bleeding as the security guard walks him down the hall, and our classmates point and laugh and hold up phones as witnesses. Manic Micah at it again. My dad pulls me away from the blood on the floor, and the officer pulls Micah away. And Sam is there, staring with the rest of them like she has no idea who I am anymore. And a janitor is plucking the magnetic poetry off the lockers as we walk out. He plinks them, word by word, into a trash can. Dad drives me home in unbearable silence. I wish he'd yell, say something, anything, give me a chance to defend myself. After the longest drive in the history of driving, he pulls into the garage, shuts off the engine, and leans back against the headrest. I expect this from Alice, not from you. He takes off his glasses and pinches the bridge of his nose. I'm not supposed to make his eyes squint like that, make his forehead wrinkle up as he tries to rub out all the stress. Because you expect me to be perfect. I never asked you to be perfect, Lily. You didn't have to ask. I'm embarrassed by the waver in my voice, by the emotions bubbling to the surface. I'm the good girl because you need me to be, but I'm not perfect. I'm broken, terrified, covered in scars. What? You're what? He says. I'm tired. I'm tired too, he says, closing his eyes with a massive sigh as if he can blow all this away. Maybe me too, while he's getting rid of stuff. And the fact that you dragged Alice into this with you when you know it's the last thing she needs. I don't tell him that breaking into the school was Alice's idea. Alice, with her wild eyes and wilder ideas, he doesn't want to hear my excuses. It's just not like you, Lily, keeping secrets from me, he says. Obviously, you won't be seeing that boy anymore. This wasn't his fault. He shakes his head. You've worked too hard to throw everything away for someone like that. Someone like that? You mean with black hair? Brown eyes? My voice fills the car. Or do you mean someone who went to Fairview? Because in that case, your daughter is someone like that, too. Your sister and that boy are not the same, he says, his voice loud in the car now. But what if they are? And what if I'm like them, too? Are you going to send me away? Isn't that your solution? Ship off the problem and hope it comes back fixed so you don't have to deal with it? I've gone too far. I know at the millisecond the words leave my lips. I wish I could stuff them back in, but I can't, just like I can't wipe off the look of shock, disappointment, hurt on Dad's face. He opens his car door and gets out, but leans in before he leaves. Who are you right now? I guess that's the million-dollar question, I yell, but he doesn't hear me before he slams the door, leaving me alone with a lifetime of words left unsaid. He doesn't really want the answer. And I guess, deep down, neither do I. Chapter 42. Wednesday, 6:45 p.m. Logo Lily. Micah, I'm so sorry. I wait for a ding for hours. It never comes. Alice sits on the edge of my bed, tells me she's sorry. I say it's not her fault, even though maybe it is a little, for telling us to go inside, for sucking Dad's bank account dry, for leaving no room in this family for me to ever fall short. She tells me Micah will be fine. He's tough, she says. I nod like the world makes sense. On the dresser, the lily Micah has given me, wilted and brown around the edges, which is just so pathetically sad that I can't look at it, but I can't bear to throw it away either. Before I pop a sleeping pill, I put on Micah's good vibes only hoodie and check my messages one more time. Nothing. But I do get an email, a 2-paragraph nuclear bomb. Dear Lily, I am so sorry, but Principal Porter has informed me that due to the suspension and the incident in the hallway this afternoon, you and Micah will no longer be eligible for the Creative Arts Contest. He feels allowing you to continue at this point would send a bad message. Lily, dear, you know I've always been a big fan. Please don't let this change your passion for the written word. You have a gift. Also, please know that I am working to see if there's something else we could do to get you noticed by the English admissions team at UC Berkeley. We'll keep you updated, Mrs. Gifford. I toss my phone away like it's poison. It lands on my notebook. full of words, my words, that I thought meant something. Words I thought could get me out of here, out of me. Idiot, idiot, idiot. Page by page, I tear up the words, my fingers ripping them out of existence. How did you think this would end? That a boy and some chalk could make things better? Make you better? And then my fingers turn on me, find the pink patches on my stomach, and I rip those out too. He would have been better off without you. Maybe everyone would. I pick and pick until the blood coats my fingertips warm and wonderful, and I wonder why I ever stopped. Lily's word of the day, puriderm. Cleaning oneself from the outside in, knowing that if you can just reach deep enough, you can pluck out all the bad and leave only the good. From English purify plus derma, which is skin. Ridgeline Underground, 600 likes. Guerrilla Poets revealed. Lily Larkin and Micah Mendez are the team behind the Random Acts of Poetry. Update, Micah has been expelled. Anyone heard from Lily? 300 comments. The truth always comes out. Thanks, Underground. Told you that guy was trouble. Sad he took Lily down with him. She probably didn't mind going down. Ew. What? The mental ones are always the best in bed. I always knew no one could be that perfect. Lily Larkin, what a hypocrite. She may be nuts, but her poetry was awesome. Probably plagiarized. Chapter 43. I spend my suspension waiting. From Micah to message, for Gifford to tell me she can save my future. I wait and wait and wait. Across the room, Alice sticks ideas onto the wall for her YouTube channel until she crashes at 1 a.m. still in her clothes. I Google Dead Man's Cliff and read anything I can find about Micah's dad. I force myself to look at the pictures, read the words, the descriptions of the wife and the little boy left behind. As I read, I pick at my scabs. In fact, I purposefully dig until I bleed. I like the sting. I want it, as if pain can pay my penance. I skipped the pre-state track scrimmage on Saturday. I'm sick. At least that's what I tell Dad. My stomach does hurt, but technically it hasn't stopped hurting since the loudspeaker summoned me to the office and my life started unraveling thread by thread. It hurts in waves, big crashing peaks that overtake my whole body when they hit. I curl into a fetal ball on my bed and wait for the tide to wash back out. I watch the minutes tick by on my clock during the track meet. They're doing the stretches now. They're on the starting blocks, crossing the finish line. They probably don't even notice you're gone. Dad checks on me, but he stands at my door instead of sitting on my bed. He's barely spoken to me since the principal's office. He doesn't tell me what a massive disappointment I am. I haven't told him that I lost the scholarship. I don't say other things too. I'm sorry. I'm still your good girl, aren't I? We dance around each other, a silent and deliberate duet of moves and bends and twists. Alice, on the other hand, won't shut up. She's standing by my bed, wearing a bright pink short-sleeved t-shirt, the brightest color she's worn since Fairview. Her scars are easily visible on her arms, light pink and fading, but still there. I'm actually getting kind of pumped about this therapy group next week. I have all these questions I'm going to ask for my video. Oh, I'm going to do an interview with Micah too. Have you heard from him, by the way? He's not returning my calls. Should we go see him? I think we should go see him. What do you think? My head pounds. I think that's a lot of questions. Something dings on her computer and she's off again, zipping back and forth between helping Margot with her math flashcards and editing her videos. Margot smiles at me and leans in close. It's working. What is? She rolls her eyes. The Patroness. She eyebrow gestures to Alice. Those dementors are all but gone. I retreat to the 100-acre wood. It's empty. All Micah's drawings deleted. You did this. I carve new tracks in my stomach. My barely healed spots keep open. Everyone at school knows. They stare at me in the halls when I come back after my 2-day suspension, whisper as I walk by. A few people tell me how amazing our poetry was, how sorry they are about Micah. They want to know how he is. I lie and tell them he's fine. The artists are wearing bright socks with fruit and palm trees and jungle animals on them in solidarity with what they're calling a total miscarriage of justice, a violation of First Amendment rights. In the lobby, the paper has been torn down along with Micah's eagle wings. A shiny new poster full of Ridgeline's code of conduct has replaced the blackout poem. A smattering of post-it notes and magnetic poetry show up randomly, but for the most part, the words are gone. I ate my lunch in the bathroom stall where I found my first words. My poem has been taken down, the wall scrubbed clean like it never happened. In English, all the other partnerships are still buzzing about the projects they turned in during my suspension. Gifford says they'll pick a winner soon, and Callie doesn't even bother to flaunt her certain victory in front of me. I'm no longer a threat. I sit on the floor in the art room, Micah's hoodie pulled up tight around my ears as I fumble to make something out of the junk pile. Damon leers at me the entire time. I tried to warn you, he says. Once a psycho, always a psycho. Sam yells from across the room. Hey, douche canoe, why don't you mind your own business for once in your sad little life? She smiles faintly at me before turning back to her partner. She just feels sorry for you. She's blocked you, cut you out from her phone and her life. Smart girl. What did you ever do for her? I pick up a fork and try to make something beautiful like Micah did, but I just end up with barely bent junk. I want to say something back to Damon, hurt him the way he hurt Micah, accuse him of doing the spray paint, but my words fail me. I see now what Micah meant about staying quiet. Everyone would love to see me lose it, validate all the rumors. As I walk through the parking lot in the afternoon, it's raining, and Damon and his friends make cuckoo calls after me from where they gather around his car. My hand's on my door handle when Damon yells out one last time, and I turn to see him waggling a can of spray paint in my direction, a vicious smirk on his face. Before I can stop myself, I'm running toward him, dropping my backpack on the wet cement, lifting my knee at just the right angle to rack him straight in the nuts. He bends in half, moaning. Crazy bitch. He spits out the words after me. I pretend not to hear. Instead of track practice, I go to Micah's house. The rain and sun have destroyed his chalk creations. Did any of it really happen? His mother answers the door and scrubs like before, except the house is dark and doesn't smell like tamales. Lily, she says, mustering a weak smile. She steps out into the porch and closes the door behind her. Her eyes are circled with pink. She hates you. Micah's not feeling so good today, but I'll tell him you stopped by. I jam the toe of my shoe into the hard cement and resist the urge to shove the door open and force Micah into the light. It's all my fault. She shakes her head slowly, putting her hand on my shoulder. Things like this are nobody's fault, Mija. The term of endearment guts me. I walk, defeated, back to my car and convince myself that I see a flicker of curtain in his room. Maybe he knows I'm here, that he's not alone in the 100-acre wood. I stop by the track after the team has left. Alone, I stand on the starting line, click my stopwatch, force my legs to move. I sprint around the track, over and over, until the finish line is a blur and my lungs are gasping for air, and then I run it again. Lily's word of the day. Anganog. The sinking realization that you're floating out to the sea and the waves keep knocking you farther out until the shore disappears and all you can see is the water, relentless and steady and impossibly strong. From the prefix an and Old Saxon ginog, enough. Callie wins. She posts a selfie of her and her partner grinning from ear to ear, holding up their photography display with an all-caps caption, "UC Berkeley, we're coming for ya." I stroll through the congratulations comments and thumbs up emojis. Well, that's that. I throw myself into everything I've ignored while chasing this summer program. I'll be lucky if Berkeley looks twice at my college application now that my grades and track times have slipped. I spent the weekend doing extra credit for every class. I outline for next week's history test. When I finish my outline, I write it again, neater, and then once more. 5 times I write it, making each letter perfect until my hand cramps and my eyes are weary. Alice flips on the light. It burns my retinas. Somehow the day has turned to night while I worked. "You've been studying nonstop for days," she says. "Time to return to life." She's wearing her old clothes, the bright ones, the ones that make her look like she should be on a 1940s pinup calendar. Her dress is cherry red with white spots and a tulle petticoat that keeps it flouncing. She's wearing makeup too, bright red lipstick that matches her dress. Alice burns my retinas. "I know you're worried about Micah," she says, "but he's not languishing in some jail cell or whatever other worst-case scenario you're imagining." "You talked to him?" "Yeah." "Is he okay?" "He will be. He had to pay a pretty steep fine and got community service for the fight, but he's home and doing online classes, and he'll be back to wearing those ridiculous socks in no time. I guarantee it." I try to believe her. This is just a blip, a setback, but I keep thinking about his dark room, him staring at the stars on his ceiling, the way he described the nothingness. Is that what he's feeling right now? Did his mom have to pay his fine? Did he hate himself for it? "Did you know?" I ask, "about his dad?" "Yes, you didn't?" I shake my head. I guess even Micah Mendez keeps some words hidden. Was it depression, like Micah? Micah doesn't talk about it all that much, but yeah, I think so. Alice scooches next to me on the bed. I know things suck right now, but I also know something that will help. Please don't say Seafoam Green. Better, she claps her hands. A bonfire party at the beach tonight. I shake my head. I'm pretty sure I'm grounded for life. Dad and Stacy went to some fancy dinner downtown, and Margot's watching a movie. We'll be back before anyone knows we're gone. She holds out a pair of jeans to me, and Micah's going to be there. It's a dirty trick. I kind of hate her for it, but I take the jeans and put them on. The party is a huge, weird mix of people dotting the beach in the moonlight. Across the sand, Sam's talking to some guy who graduated last year. She starts toward me for like a millisecond before she remembers I'm the worst. I scan the crowd for Micah, but he's not here, so I take a seat in the sand, half hidden by the darkness. I lose myself in the flames of the bonfire. Alice is flirting loudly with a guy with a surfer ponytail and an open flannel shirt who looks like a grade A douchebag. Alice keeps touching his arm. Bro dude leans toward her, his body language screaming that he's into it if she is. Spoiler alert, she is. She is reincarnated as the old Alice, loud and bright and up for anything. Why did I let her talk me into coming? She's whispering something in the D-bag's ear, and they're off, racing down toward the beach, shucking clothes as they go. A splash as they enter the water. A guy somewhere behind me calls Alice mental under his breath. The darkness conceals Dead Man's Cliff, but I know it's out there. Did Micah's father think twice when he stood on the edge? Was he scared, taking that final step into the nothing? Or did the ocean call to him peacefully like it once did to me? And then, like a vision, Micah's there watching me. The firelight flickers on his face, casts bizarre shadows under the eyes I know so well, except their usual light is gone. His face is pale and his hair is unkempt, and the guilt needles me. I want to run to him, to touch him, to have him hold me, but I don't know where he is, how he feels about me, about us, after everything that's happened. I jump up, only to stand in front of him awkwardly. You're here. I'm here. He smiles half-heartedly with one side of his mouth, like he's apologizing for his presence, or mine, hard to tell which. Alice said my wallowing time was over. Me too. I dig the toe of my flip-flop into the sand. I came by your house. I know. He shoves his hands deeper into his pockets, his eyes watching my toe. I reach out to my hand to him. Walk with me? He takes it, and my chest fills with hope. We head down to the edge of the ocean, somewhere in the in-between, our toes barely submerged in the cold waves. The breeze blows the end of his curls. So, how did it feel, he asks. What? Kicking Damon in the nuts. Through the dark, he smiles slightly, and it helps me breathe, helps me believe he's still in there. Freaking fantabulous. I bet, he says. I know I'm not supposed to say this, but damn, it felt good to hit that guy. I follow Micah's gaze out to the ocean where the water meets the night. He's still a million miles away. Do you hate me? I ask. No. But you got expelled, Micah. It's not fair. It's life. He stoops to pick up a piece of sea glass and chucks it hard. It lands somewhere in the nothingness. But I know Damon did the graffiti. He still has the spray paint can, and if we could prove... Micah shakes his head. No one wants to hear it. I'm Manic Micah. I'll always be Manic Micah. My hope deflates slightly. Don't say that. You thought it once too. But now I know you, I say, trying to bring him back to me, back from wherever he's gone that feels so far. I grab his hand as he winds up another piece of sea glass. I know your lips move when you read. I kiss him on the cheek, slide my fingers through his, my heart pounding. I know that you love your mom more than anything, and you want to make your dad proud. Lily, don't, he says, his voice breaking in the wind. And that you believe in a world better than this one, I say, standing in front of him, pulling his body next to mine. And you make me believe it too. He pulls away. I was wrong, and for a second there I forgot. I let myself believe that the whole world could see me like you do. He lobs the glass into the black. And the worst part was my mom's face. Disappointment, but also like she wasn't surprised. That's what killed me. Not the expulsion or the police charges or any of it, but that look. A flash of lightning illuminates the horizon as a drizzle starts, sprinkling raindrops onto his cheeks as he talks. He's staring toward Dead Man's Cliff as he hefts a rock from hand to hand. My dad's name was Charlie. He married my mom in college, studied engineering. He was brilliant and sarcastic and had the greatest head of black hair you've ever seen. But do you think anyone talks about all of that? He shakes his head. He was the guy who jumped off the cliff. That's all they'll ever see. I reach out to him again, take his hand. You're not your dad. So I tell myself every time I stand on that stupid cliff, but even if I convince myself, I'll never convince everyone else. My dad will never be anything other than his weakest moments, and neither will I. I should have known better than to think it could ever be different, that I could go to college or be any sort of normal. The rain wets his hair, and I watch a droplet roll down one of his curls, cling for a second, and then fall. So what, you're just giving up? I don't have much choice here, do I? This is why I shouldn't make plans, because whatever I do, the past gets in the way. And no matter how hard I try, the monsters always find me. Why try? The rain's falling harder now, sending people scurrying from the beach. Someone touches my arm. You're Alice's sister, right? Asks a girl I don't know. Yeah, but we're kind of in the middle. We can't find her. What do you mean you can't find her? Micah says. Bro dude's here now, too, wet and stumbling over his words. We were in the water, both of us, messing around. He shakes water from his hair like he's a puppy. And like she was there and she was like talking all fast, and then she was gone, just took off. My heart speeds up. The beach is so dark that I can only see a few feet in every direction. The moon is a fingernail sliver, barely lighting up a narrow streak on the water and nothing else. Why didn't you follow her? I say, scanning the beach, searching the darkness for her. How do you just lose somebody? Bro dude lifts up his hands, innocent. Look, man, I don't even know her. She's not my problem. My knees start to buckle. I hang on to Micah, who passes me off to the girl before he waves to some guys and heads down the beach, cell phones out like flashlights. They shine them into the water. I run to the ocean's edge. My fear freezes me between the land and the sea. Don't pee in the water. Everyone is searching now up and down the beach, flashlights flicking out like searchlights across the waves. A group of girls Alice went to high school with huddle around me, telling me to calm down, that she's probably fine, that she's probably hooking up in a dune somewhere. The three girls laugh in unison. Alice is one big joke. She's not fine, I yell. Don't you understand? She's bipolar. We need to find her. The girls stop laughing. Bipolar, one says. Is that when you hear voices? Or have multiple personalities or something? No, I think it's when you're like crazy happy one second and suicidal the next. They all look at me. Oh my gosh, do you think she did this on purpose? Micah's voice rings out from the darkness. Over here! I shove my way past the idiot trio and run down the beach, abandoning my flip-flops in the wet sand. The rain falls sideways, hard and stinging as I run through it toward the cluster of lights. When I reach the group, they're all looking up, toward Alice. She's perched, partway up Dead Man's Cliff, on a slick, wet rock, wearing nothing but a bra, underwear, and a smile on her face that scares me. Chapter 45. Lily, she shouts down to me, waving like we haven't seen each other in ages. I've had another amazing idea. From the bottom of the cliff, I yell up to her, come down, okay, Alice? Come down here and tell me. She shakes her head. No, I have to go up, 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 up. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Her eyes are wider than I've ever seen them. How long have they been like that? Her pupils dart around the rock as she talks, her words coming almost too fast to understand. What if I get a running start? What if I leap beyond the rocks? And so like, bam, it hit me. She closes her eyes and presses a finger to her temple. Without her shirt on, the scars on her arms stand out dark against her skin. What was my idea? What was I saying? Alice, just come down. It's too wet up there. Her eyes snap open. Oh yes, the cliff. So what if, and this is the genius part, what if when I jump, I don't fall? What if I fly? Alice, no. I can do it. I know I can. A crowd has gathered behind me, watching her lose it, seeing her scars. Alice, I say like I'm trying not to scare away a baby bird, this is not a good idea. Yes, it is. You'll see. She's climbing again, one hand reaching up to grab a craggy jut out. Her feet slip on the slick rock, but she scrambles back and hoists herself up to the next level of rocks. Stop, Alice. You need to stop. She laughs, a ringing, echoing trill. It's too high, too loud, too uncontrolled. Can't stop, little sis. I'm going to be brave like you, like I used to be. This isn't brave, I yell up to her. It's stupid. She laughs again and keeps climbing. Micah tells me he's going to run around to the barricaded entrance up top. He takes off in the night. Behind me, people whisper, bipolar, Fairview, crazy. Cell phone lights punch through the dark. They're filming her, stockpiling evidence against the sanity of the Larkin sisters. And suddenly, standing here at the bottom of this cliff, all the emotions of the last few days erupt like a powder keg. Why is she doing this? Why now, when things are falling apart, does she have to do this? Just stop. Before I can filter my thoughts, I yell up at her, why do you have to be like this? She frowns down at me. Be like what? Like this? Why do you have to act so? She stops climbing, her toes balancing on a ledge. She looks over her shoulder down at me. So crazy? No, that's not. It's too far. Like when we were kids, like when you said we should sneak into the school, it's always one step too far. And my mind flashes back. I'm 6 and I follow Alice into the ocean. She dares me to swim out farther, go on an adventure. I'm 16 and I follow her into the school. Alice opens the door. All her impulsive ideas, her reckless thoughts, always taking over and taking me down with her. You ruin things. The wild in Alice's eyes turns to anger. I knew it. I knew you were mad at me about the trespassing. I'm not mad, Alice. I'm tired of babysitting my big sister. Nobody told you to babysit me. Oh, right. That's all I ever hear. Look out for Alice. Don't anger Alice. Help Alice. Alice, 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 Alice. Do you know what it's like to find your sister on the bathroom floor with a blade pressed to her skin? Do you know what that does to a person? Her eyes fill with tears as she stares at me from above. She opens her mouth like she's going to say something, but stops and turns around, lifting her arm high to grab at a rock. Her voice half carried away by the wind. Well, maybe you'll get lucky and I won't fly after all. Without thinking, I step barefooted onto a rock, hoist myself up and start climbing. Alice is climbing too, but I'm faster, and soon I've almost caught up to her and we're halfway to the top when I grab her ankle. She shakes me off and reaches for the next rock, but I lunge for her one more time. Come down, I yell, but I miss her just barely, and as she yanks her leg away, her other foot slips, and time breaks. Because it's moving too fast and somehow too slow, and she's falling and screaming, a blur of skin and darkness and tumbling rocks. And I'm fumbling my way down and then crawling to her, holding her, and there's blood in her hair, so much blood, on me, on everything. Micah's voice brings me back. Someone call 911. He picks up Alice off the sand, one arm under her knees and one behind her back. Her head lolls backward lifelessly, and all the monsters in my head shout together, please be okay. Please be okay. Please be okay.